Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
Yeah, good. Good. Okay.
Travis loves the Steelers now that
Yeah,
they're
he
the
does.
Roethlisberger.
Okay, let's go with the Steelers. They were 10-7 last year. Offensively, they were 23rd, 27th in passing, 11th in rushing, and they were 8th defensively in scoring defense. Let's give Travis the first go ahead here. What was your favorite move that the Steelers made?
Well, I like Aaron Rodgers despite his craziness. So I like that they're taking a chance on him because, well, they drug their feet and didn't get anybody when they could have. So he kind of was their last option. But I mean, it's Rodgers, so you never know how he's going to do. But I like that, and I also really like the Metcalf signing. However, I'll get into something else later about what they did that I didn't like. So
Okay, okay. What about you, Ryan? Do you have a favorite move that the Steelers made?
I do, man, bringing in Ramsey and Slay. I
Yeah, I
mean,
know.
they're a little long in the tooth, but pairing them together, I think you have some trust there that there's going to be competent cornerback play, which they didn't have last year, really. So that's interesting to see. So, I mean, getting Rodgers and those two guys, I mean, their average age for their team went up. I'm sure it's kind of like the Clippers, maybe, of the NFL.
Sure, sure.
Accumulating all these 30 to 40-year-old guys. But I'm interested to see how those two guys do. Like, how good is Ramsey at?
I think he's still pretty good. Like he's
Yeah,
not like shut down corner anymore, Ramsey, but I think he's pretty good still. Like he can. I think Slay is even a little better than Ramsey, honestly, right now. So he still had high PFF grades last year. Slay did, and he's kind of underpaid as well if you consider his performance last year. So I think that was kind of a steal for the Steelers. I like him and Ramsey together, Metcalf. And then Rodgers, I do like the flyer on Rodgers because if you're going to go all in, it's best to throw him in there instead of Russell Wilson or, you know, Andy Dalton or someone like that. So that's fine. I'm with you, Travis. I kind of defend Rodgers a little bit too, even though he's crazy. Okay, least favorite move, Ryan. Let's start with you this time. What was your least favorite move that they made?
I mean, I kind of liked Pickens. I maybe because he'd always torch the Ravens when he'd play him. Like he'd be the guy that would beat him on some deep throw because they only threw to him and like down the sidelines deep pretty much was his calling card, back shoulder stuff. But I him paired with Metcalf could have been pretty cool, but I mean they got what a second rounder or something for from Dallas for um Pickens. So I guess we'll see how that works. But I would have tried to keep him, but maybe they didn't like his attitude or some of the rumors about him that I've heard as
It
far as
is,
his attitude.
isn't it funny? Like the Steelers always get like diva for wide receivers. How do they get the divas? I'm not quite sure. Um, do you have a least favorite move, Travis?
that was mine because if you're getting Rodgers, I would have thought that this would have been their go all out year. And if we've seen what Rodgers can do with one good wide receiver, so just imagine him with two. And Pickens has always been good, and he's had nobody throwing to him his entire career. So, plus you got Freiermuth out there. Man, Rodgers would have loved that
And they
trio.
traded for the fourth best tight end last year in Jonnu Smith. So statistically, he was the fourth best tight end. But I agree with you guys. I don't even think it's just the fact they traded Pickens. It's like they didn't really get a number two wide receiver, in my opinion, like that I'm excited about. Like they didn't go out and get anybody that like you can be confident in that him and Rodgers will, you know, develop some sort of chemistry. I know it sounds silly, but like even like a Christian Kirk, he just gets open. He's short, quick route running. He's shifty, but they don't even like they just don't they didn't get anybody at that second pass catcher position in the wide receiver like that I trust. So if something happens to Metcalf, it's going to be rough in that wide receiver room, regardless. So it's not just getting rid of Pickens, but it's also you didn't really do anything else to address the wide receiver room in a season where you clearly went all in. So
Do
that's
you
so. Go
do you
ahead.
think Ryan, the second receiver, is almost like Jonnu, where they use him as like a pass catching tight end, second receiver kind of guy? I mean, I know Freiermuth is the tight end, but Jonnu is almost like a different kind of guy.
Yeah, he could. I just like the problem is like with Rodgers throughout his career after Finley was gone, he never like used his tight ends, right? So you gotta kind of play Jonnu out in the slot. I guess you could try that, right? Just see how it goes. But I'd be more comfortable if it was like, like I said, Christian Kirk or there was one other guy that I felt like just kind of similar style. Not Barrios.
Ridley,
Who?
Ridley,
Calvin Ridley? No. Although Ridley would be good, like like an Adam Thielen, Cooper Cup, that type of player, someone like that.
Jordy Nelson-esque.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Jordy Nelson, see if he can come out of retirement. Donald Driver-ish, That's
Yeah.
I feel like that's what he needs. Okay. Let's go green flag going into the season. Let's start with you, Travis. What's your green flag?
Um, just, you know, Mike Tomlin leading that team and keeping everybody in check, basically. You know, he's proved himself time and time again. Just let him run the offense and see what happens.
Yeah, it's funny. The most silliest thing I saw, if that's proper English, is that the over under, I'm gonna spoil it a little bit. It's at 8.5, and I'm like, we all know that's over. He's gonna win 8 games. Like it's Mike Tomlin. Come on. What's your green flag, Ryan?
Yeah, I think you can always count on the Steelers defense and just being competent so that even if the offense is at like a point where Mason Rudolph is the quarterback or whoever, if Rodgers gets hurt, or even if Rodgers is in there, but you expect their D to keep them in games so that they're competitive week in and week out.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Let's see here. My green flag is that they went all in. I love how they didn't just go half in, they went all in on the season. So it's kind of fun. I can't wait to see how that kind of turns out for them in this season. But going after Slay, Ramsey, Metcalf, Rodgers, and just being like, hey, we're just going to try to win it this year. We have a good enough defense. If we can make the offense competent enough, we have a shot. And I do kind of like that. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
my
not really like the Steelers. They're kind of
no.
they try to just be consistently, good every year, but they don't really make that bold of moves like they did this year normally.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Let's see here. Red flag for you, Ryan.
It's still a little bit like you're saying with the pass game. I trust that Warren is kind of like a bowling ball. He can kind of run, and then Caleb Johnson I really like from Iowa. I think he'll probably surpass maybe Warren and be the starter eventually. But I don't know with Rodgers being 41, and then the guys he's throwing to, and then their line is good but not great, you know. So Rodgers would probably be throwing it in 1.5 seconds. It might look a lot like when Roethlisberger was there at the end, where he's just throwing a lot of quick stuff because he doesn't want to get hit, and their line isn't the greatest.
Yeah, I got you. No, that's a good one. I like that one. I'm also worried about Rodgers because it's been a little bit since he's had a good year after his injury, and then he had a down year last year. So it's a red flag that you're kind of relying on him because really, I think that's what the team's going to come down to offensively. It's going to be Rodgers or bust. So hopefully he can he can be better for them, but I think that he's the big red flag because you just don't know what you're going to get out of him this year. Ryan, I mean Travis, you got one?
I agree with you guys. Rodgers is it. Yeah, he's make or break the season. The only positive, I guess, is towards the end of last year, he was playing pretty good for the Jets, at least. So at least, he can come off of his high that he was riding.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully, if you're a Steelers fan, fantasy football go to Travis. Let's go to you.
Um, I I'll go with Fryermuth.
Mm,
Solid points for a tight end.
yeah, yeah. A good tight end. I don't think you have to draft him super high, which is good. Ryan, you got one?
Um, honestly, Boswell is like the best kicker in the league, in my opinion, or one of the best. If I was gonna take a kicker, I don't really love anybody. I don't even. Do you think DK is a true number one? I like DK, but he's kind of like what I was saying with the Ravens. Like one week you get a big game from DK, and then he's quiet 2 weeks, and then he has another. Like he's hit and miss. Yeah, I don't see him as a consistent number one like throughout the season. But he's the only guy they got, so I would say him, I guess.
Yeah, I put Metcalf just because I know Rodgers loves his one. Usually, it's one target. That's what it's been for him recently. Like it's like Adams, 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 Garrett Wilson, Adams, 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 Adams. So I just think like if you're gonna draft a pass catcher, you should almost just try to get Metcalf, just because you know that Rodgers will probably throw it to him over 120 times this year, and how much he catches is going to be up to like his consistency and his route running and stuff like that. So, yeah. Predictions. So let's over under, like I said, is 8.5, so 5.5 wins. Ryan, what do you got for the Steelers?
Just looking at their schedule, I think they can get to 10 wins. I'm thinking 10-7 seems right if they can keep Rodgers upright. Just because they have some easy ones in there because they were third place in division last year, so they get like New England and Indianapolis and a couple of those kind of games. So I'd say 10-7.
Yeah, I'm with you. I put 10-7. Travis?
We're all on the same wavelength here.
Okay, so far so good. Yeah. I just again we a little bit of a spoiler, but we'll talk about the prediction we're most confident in. I'm like over 9 wins for the Steelers. I mean 9 or more wins for the Steelers. I'm confident in that every year. Okay. Let's talk about your Bengals, Travis. Let's talk about your Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.